Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Noethling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become the confident leader and take your business and your life to the next level. Today, I am very excited to bring to you Amy Lenius, and let me tell you about Amy's background. She is the director of group coaching at Next Level University. She's a professional speaker, event coordinator, MC, and Next Level certified holistic self-improvement coach. That's a business card, nightmare. After dealing, after dealing with chronic illness from a young age and going through the journey of learning to heal not only inside, but also outside, which will always be a never-ending journey. I believe that's true. This has helped Amy to become the empowered and passionate woman she is today. Her healing journey led her to discover and embody the abundance of holistic lifestyle. Amy has learned the power of understanding the importance of your internal environment and how it reflects outwardly, and how your external environment deeply affects your internal world. We cannot compartmentalize ourselves into believing that all the parts of our lives and the different hats that we wear don't have an effect on the others. And all this work has taught Amy that we are all in our own unique version of this, and you, as the incredible individual you are, is unique, which means to thrive, you need not only to discover what words like health, success, peace, purpose, fulfillment, and abundance mean to you. You need to own that and learn to thrive in that space. Holistic healing, holistic self-improvement, self-awareness, learning to build your self-belief and self-worth have all been pillars in her journey, and she is dedicated to guiding others to do the same. Her passion is speaking into others' lives and facilitating a space to help others lean into their own unique version of themselves, a holistic, peace, and purposeful potential. So we're going to talk about building self-belief and self-worth, and I'm excited to welcome Amy Lenius as my guest. Amy, so happy to have you on. I love your story.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. This is the very aligned podcast. I am super honored to be able to be in your space.
Well, we always start out with two easy questions. I usually think they're easy. Sometimes you fool me. But first, where do you call home? Where do you live right now?
I currently live in Ontario, Canada. We just moved here a couple years ago from out west. So I lived in Western Canada in BC, and we moved across the country and found our own little paradise in a very small town here.
Very good. Very good. Been to both the BC area, as well as spent a good bit of time in Ontario launching the UPS store for Canada. So past life. So we gave kind of a little bit about your journey, but I'd love for you always to share a little more insight onto the different paths that took you to lead you in your journey to where you are today, to do what you do and why you do it.
Well, you gave such a beautiful introduction. I don't know if I've ever had anyone read the whole thing. It was different to have my words read back to me. It was so really beautiful for sharing, actually. So thank you so much. And so my journey, it's been complicated. It's been messy. It's been all over the place. You're following different things all the time. But it started with me being very sick, like you said, and learning that it is so much more than just our physical bodies that need to heal when we need to heal. And that whole journey of going from being in chronic pain and being in chronic illness to becoming pain free took a lot more than just talking to people about my physical health and just about the bits that were supposedly the sick parts. It was about looking at me as a whole human being, mentally,
Yeah.
physically, emotionally. And as soon as I would embrace the idea of healing more than just my physical body, I needed to do something mentally. I needed to take a step in my
Yeah.
external environment. I would hit this new level of healing. And so it just really taught me that it all really goes together. And as much as we would love to compartmentalize those things, they do affect each other. Our internal environment and our external environment is this ever functioning community. And if one is hurting, then the other suffers. And if something is going on in your external environment and is hurting out there, it's going to affect you inside. And so I think we like to think we can compartmentalize, but in reality, our mental and emotional health is one foot, our physical health is another, our success is on both feet. We need both. But if you're just doing one, you're going to start walking in circles really quickly. And so we need both to be able to step forward into whatever success means to us.
I love that, walking in circles. That is so very true. And you wonder why you get stuck, right?
Yes. Very much so. I initially started public speaking after I started feeling better and I got asked to step into speaking into like holistic women's healing and things like that. I really noticed that as well as I could speak on the anatomy and physiology, I do have anatomy and physiology background, and on healing methods and practices and things, I could tell that women felt seen, heard. They thought I looked really smart, but it wasn't connecting with them when they went home because they didn't have the mental and emotional capacity to be able to continue with what they had learned. They didn't have high self-belief, or they didn't have the self-worth they needed to step into actually continuing the practices that I taught them. And so that was a really powerful connection as well, is that as much as I loved speaking into physical health, it needed to have the component of building their mental health as well, not just talking about stress reduction and how that affected their health and things. It was, how can I empower you mentally to have the strength to be able to continue this on your own and believe that it's possible for you to do so? And that expanded into me working into more self-improvement spaces. And then I got asked to partner with Kevin and Ellen at Next Level University. I love that you use Next Level in your intro. And they asked me initially to be their MC during their live events. And then it expanded into being their live event coordinator, into helping them with coaching, into running group coaching, into now I also do like one-on-one sessions through there versus just my own women's healing space. And so that has just been incredibly expansive and amazing as well.
And I think, what you talked about, we can speak, we can talk to people, but I think what you talked about really is impactful, that there are times though that we do need a coach. I was in business and corporate for over 40 years, and I had tons of mentors that I was very fortunate. And whenever I retired and decided after 2 years that I was not going to be the normal retiree, and I thought, I have to give back. But I could talk about public speaking, I could talk about leadership, but it is okay. Now that you've got this knowledge, what are you going to do with it? And you need that coach, you need that mentor to guide you, to be that sounding board, ask questions, to make sure you're walking on the right path, if you will. So I love that you took all that expertise, all of that experience that you've had, and the heart to be able to coach others.
Thank you. Yeah, I love the idea of even, I mean, I love having coaches and mentors myself. I think we're always in a space of expanding and growing. We never actually arrive. We can always
Right.
grow into more, but it helps keep us accountable. It helps us stay consistent. It helps us stay focused on what is important, keeping the main things, helping you get back to basics sometimes when we get too excited and expand out. It's, one of these. We expand and then we need to come back to basics. We expand and then we have new basics we need to come back to. And having a guidance system in that, a leader that can speak into your life that way, just allows that to happen more quickly, more smoothly, and just with the support. So I'm all
Yeah.
about it.
And I love that you're so dedicated to the word holistic. I have an anti-aging business, and the reason I joined that company was because they are holistic. And I think when we talk about self-belief and self-worth, we need to look at it from a holistic way. It's not, it's really important to be one with nature, if you will. And I think whenever I think holistic, I think really one with nature. So talk to us about how impactful it is to be tied and dedicated to holistic.
It has been such an expansive and important word for me. So I do think when people hear the word holistic, they do think natural approach, right? Which in our family, we are all about as well. We deeply believe in low tox living and getting out in nature as much as we can. We're always using natural remedies for things. My home is full of just the most random stuff. My healing journey alone is all from natural supplements, natural paths, all of these other beautiful things. But holistic, when it comes to your holistic being and your personal development and your success, is embodying the fact that every aspect of your life, all the hats you wear, whether it be parent, spouse, anything you're doing for work, entrepreneurship, contribution, all of that, again, we like to see those as very separate. And I constantly see people chasing balance. So if I could just have balance between all of these things, and it's like, you know what? You can't. Balance
Yeah, you
implies that you can do
cannot.
everything equally all at once. I deeply believe chasing balance is BS.
Yeah,
It's a
I
dream
agree.
you will never catch. And
Mhm.
so understanding that holistic is that you do have all of these hats that you wear. You have all of these aspects of your life that all affect one another. They are in a community together. They're all a part of you. And when one is falling, the other one can fall too. And we like to think if we just throw ourselves into our career or throw ourselves into this one avenue, the rest will take care of itself. But if that's going poorly, it's going to go poorly everywhere else. If it's going
Yeah.
great, it's going to go great everywhere else. And that's exciting. But diving into those things from a space of separate is always a losing game, and trying to find balance is also always a losing game. But if you can learn to find harmony, and if you can learn to flow in and out of each one, to give each one the momentum it needs, to give one the grace that it needs, it's a way more peaceful and abundant way of living.
Yes, it just kind of takes care of that stress piece. But, if you're always trying to chase the balance, then and you're failing, you're going to fail.
Forever.
Let's just put that out there. You're going to fail. And so then you're going to always feel that you're not worthy. Like everybody else on social media is showing me that they can have balance. Well, that's BS. And then, and you're not going to believe, well, that you can do things.
Yes.
And so I love that you talked about having those pillars. I always say, it's, you need to put your focus on what is needed the most. It's kind of like my old-fashioned to-do list. What is my A and B things? My A things I have to take care of right now, and the B things could wait. And then the C's are whenever. And I
Yeah.
think if you think of balance is, when my kids are sick, they're number one priority.
That's right.
If I have a project that is impacting others that I need to get done, then that's when I have that conversation with, my husband, and it's like, well, now I need you to pull up your side here for a little bit as I do this. But if you feel guilty
Yeah.
or, that you're not all you can be, you're just, first of all, you're sharing with your kids the wrong kind of attitude, but you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be stressed. You're going to not sleep well because you're going to be worrying. So,
Chasing that delusion of balance is always going to deep down make you feel
yeah,
actually less. It's going
yeah,
to help you find easy ways to be in shame, be in guilt, not feel good enough. It's going to actually tank your self-belief and self-worth, which are two of the
yeah,
most important pillars that you have in your mental and emotional space for your version of success. And so, yeah, learning to find harmony between that and giving yourself the permission and grace to do so. I have two young boys at home. I homeschool them. I
mm,
also do everything else that I do out into the world, and I can't have the delusion that I am also parenting and homeschooling right now. I'm not. They're off doing their own thing right now, and I'll put on my mom hat and school teacher hat later. I'm flowing in and out. Right now, I'm in my work, I'm in my passion, I'm in my purpose. And that flows into them later because I'm going to leave this space. I was on a coaching call right before this. I get to do this now. And then after that, I get to go have time with my boys. And I'm going to be in such an abundant, fulfilled space because I am doing my passion and my purpose right
yeah,
now. And that's going to pour into them. And so just trusting that when you are doing these things that do fuel you, it does fuel everything else in your life. I think as women and as mothers, we
yes,
sometimes get in this shame cycle of, oh, I'm not being the best mom I can be right now. But in my version of success, this gives me the tools I need to have the capacity to be the best mother that I can
yeah,
be. Anything that expands us expands everything else in our life. And
hmm.
so just trusting that when you're in your state of fulfillment, it is going to overflow into them.
And I think that really kind of goes nicely into what my next question is understanding yourself at a deeper level and how it serves you. I do think that we need to, from time to time, reflect. For me, I start my day, I end my day in those reflections. But especially if you are that busy mom or that busy entrepreneur out there, that you think you don't have time for yourself. And I'm here to say, yes, you do. You have to. So talk about understanding yourself at a deeper level and how it serves you.
Yeah, it is so important for both of the people you just described, whether it is a woman who finds fulfillment in staying at home with her family, or you're out there chasing the entrepreneurial ship. Both are amazing, both are great. But yeah, sustainability there is important. And to be sustainable, to be successful in either one is based on you. And so having self-awareness and diving into yourself on a deeper level is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. And it's one of the most excellent skills that you can build, especially if you can do it with accuracy and humility. So owning where you're at without judgment, without delusion, without inflating or deflating. Lots of us like to think we're less than we are. Some of us like to think we're more than we are. And then we're building from that place into our version of success. And that's always going to be a bit of a delusional game because we weren't accurate in our self-assessment. And so learning to assess who you are, learning to build and connect with your identity, because a big part of our identity is already within us. And it's about
Mhm.
discovering that and uncovering that. And a big part of our identity is still out there for us to discover. And so I deeply believe that's all in this pillar of core beliefs, core values, and core aspirations. So, core beliefs typically come from our past. It's things we believe about ourselves and the world. And sometimes they're accurate and sometimes they're not. The ones that
That's
are
right.
not accurate are maybe taking away from the goals that you have, the things that you want to accomplish, or the person you want to be. So,
That's right.
assessing those core beliefs. Core values are what you're living in now. When you feel great, abundant, purposeful, awesome, it's typically because you're living in your core values. And those are things that are already within you that are worth discovering what they are.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the past, present, and then future is your core aspirations, where you're going. Do your core beliefs and core values align with your core aspirations and where you want to go? And if not, there's a missing piece there. And
Yeah.
how can you align all three of those into where you want to go?
And I think whenever you understand yourself, then you can get to fulfillment, and and fulfillment is often different as you go through your journey. You know, I always, again, if we go back to social media, and people will see how other people's lives are and they think, well, that's what I need to do to be happy. But you know, sometimes I'm the most happiest if I'm just walking on a path somewhere in a nature in the woods, or
Same.
I'm just hanging with my grandsons, and and there's no big expense happening, no fanciness. It's just enjoying life. And so for your clients, how do you really guide them to understand why fulfillment is so important and their definition maybe of
Mm,
fulfillment?
exactly. It's their definition. Now, you can break down fulfillment, I believe, and at NLU, we believe we have this beautiful framework for fulfillment is its potential and its contribution and its quality of life. So if you can
Mm,
picture those three and they all feed each other. So if you can picture arrows going to each one and it all
yeah.
fills each other. And so potential is you working on you. Are you pouring into your potential, the things that matter
Mm,
to you most? Are you expanding your learning? Are you pouring into yourself? Are you filling your cup? Are you doing what you need to do for you, the things that matter most? For some people, that's learning the most healthy, beautiful recipes for their families. For others, it's like for me, it's courses. I'm doing courses on therapy right now and leadership and things like that's me pouring into myself, expanding my communication. It's the biggest reasons I love going on podcasts. It helps me practice my craft of speaking. That's
yeah.
me pouring into myself as I get to pour into others, which is just the best. And the next is contribution. So, what is your version of contribution? Again, to some, it's to their families, it's to their household, it's to their spouse. To others, it's to their business, it's to things, and you can have both. I deeply believe that. So,
Yeah.
where is your contribution level right now? Where is your potential level? Where is your contribution level? And then, how is your quality of life? And quality of life is just what, I mean, that's individual to everybody. You having your positive quality of life was those walks you were talking about, that time with your
Mhm.
grandsons. Those are all adding to your quality of life. And so if you can find harmony and flow in and out of those and have each one feed each other, because when you're
Mm,
feeling good about your quality of life, you have more capacity to pour into your potential. And as you
mm.
expand your potential, you have more capacity to contribute, whatever that potential is. And so they all feed each other. And so those three, we deeply believe, are pillars of fulfillment. And typically we're all
Mm.
good at one, and one needs support. Like I'm excellent at quality of life. We're constantly, how's the vibe of my home? How's my family feeling? How is everything? Like the quality of life comes very easy to me. I'm excellent now at pouring into my potential as well. And now I'm working on building out my contribution. So, which
Mm.
one do you need to focus in on more right now as you're listening of those three? And how can you step into that further so you can expand your fulfillment?
And I think that's the journey or the realization that I had in 2019 when I decided, okay, um, I'm I'm starting to, during COVID, I was doing a region advisor for Toastmasters, and I was helping people understand how to speak well, how to be leaders. And I thought, okay, if I'm doing this for this group of people, why should I sit home and watch Netflix or, just do things on my own when I have more to give to others that need and to pay back for all of the times that I was filled by others. And so that constant triangle that you were talking about, I think is our everyday life. It's like it's my everyday life. I always need to learn, and I always need to see if I can help the youth as well as adults. And then I need to make sure that I'm taking care of the people that I love the most.
That's really beautiful. If you can find a life where you can tap into all three every day, even if it's just a small little piece every day, you will find fulfillment.
Yeah. So let's just talk about, let's go back to the self-belief and self-worth. This next topic is a pivotal piece, and that's self-care. And ladies out there, I'm telling you, you know, I did not only get into the wellness and anti-aging because I wanted to look good and feel good. I knew that I could not be the best coach or the best speaker or the best mom or grandma if I didn't take care of myself. And I think we just get so busy and so involved in worrying about the future that we forget to take care of the present, and that's us.
Yeah, I deeply feel that. If we are not feeling our best, it is hard to give our
Oh, yeah.
best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and typically women, we're such serving souls. It's such natural state of being for us, and it's always typically at the expense of ourselves. It's rarely are we empowered with the tools to have both.
Yeah.
Right? Women's values have always been placed on how and what we can do for other people. Are you a good mother? Are you a good daughter? Are you a good sister? Are you a good friend? That's what makes you a good woman. And that, I mean, what? Talk about BS. Self-worth needs to come from within. Self-belief needs to be built externally in the things that matter most to you. Talk about self-awareness. Where are you and where do those things matter to you versus are they just expectations and beliefs of other people? So learning to separate yourself from what is someone else's versus what is mine is huge. And understanding that, yes, self-care is so important because you giving from a space of emptiness versus a space of abundance and fulfillment and giving what is best of you instead of what is left of you are two entirely different games. And I know that we can thrive and do some pretty incredible things in this emptiness bucket because we're so capable of doing it. But when you can move into this more abundant, fulfilled, best version of you, it's a whole different game that is worth getting to and worth playing for sure. And so we talked about how we're trying to find balance and things and we need to flow into harmony. I picture you as this person, you know, the people that hold sticks and spin plates. So you're the person holding the sticks and spinning the plates. So this morning, before I came into this space, I was spinning my family plate, making the kids breakfast, connecting with them. So that has a bit of momentum going. So I've stepped away from that, trusting that it's still spinning. And now I'm into this plate over here, my passion, my purpose, my service, all of that. And now I'm spinning that plate. But regardless of whatever plate you're spinning, if you fall, all of the plates fall with you. So what do you need to do for yourself? And how can you build the self-belief and self-worth that you need to have to be capable of doing that, to believing you're worth doing that? And that's a big one. So many of the women that would attend my presentations would leave with the belief of, oh, I believe that that's possible now because you said it was. I don't believe it's possible for me. Those are two different things. If you believe something is possible versus you believe it's possible for yourself. So building that belief and then underlying, typically we rarely say logically we're thinking in our brains, oh, I'm not worthy of feeling good. I'm not worthy of pouring into myself. We're not saying that. It's all underlying unconscious beliefs. So how can we build our self-worth? Those are two pillars in everything that you're trying to do. And so let's start with self-belief. Self-belief, again, I'm going to give you another triangle. We're really big on triangles at NLU. We have a lot of frameworks that are based on triangles. It's Alan Lazarus, our CEO and co-founder of this whole beautiful space. He's big on triangles. He's an engineer, total math brain. It's hilarious. I love it. Love him and his framework so much. And so self-belief is, and again, this is going to sound simple, but yet things that are simple sometimes aren't, and that's okay, is state, prove, and self-assign. So state, prove, self-assign. Again, they all feed each other. So saying you're going to do something is that first step, state. And I love using something as mundane as the laundry. Okay. I'm going to do the laundry today. That's me stating I'm going to do something. It's important then that I prove that thing. I do the thing I say that I'm going to do
it.
Okay. I actually do it. Build self-belief. I actually do it. So now I've done the laundry. And the secret sauce is in that third step is self-assigning or self-celebrating. Hey, I said I was going to do the laundry today, and I did. And I love using the laundry because how often are we given permission to self-assign and celebrate things that are small like that? My laundry
That's
pile is
right.
not small, so that's why I do that. But we don't. And you know what we do? It's because after we've done it, we will find any reason to not self-assign and self-celebrate. So here we go. I've done the laundry. Oh, but I should have done more. I should have folded it. I probably could have done an extra one, or maybe I should have hung it on the line and not used the dryer. Now I'm a bad earth person. Like all the things you can take yourself off the rails into doing to not self celebrate. And so I love empowering people with the skills to start small with the laundry like that. Start
Mhm.
celebrating yourself for these small things and fight your brain on it. When your brain tells you that's ridiculous, fight back and
Yeah.
start doing that. State, prove, self assign. And if you do that in small ways every day, you're going to start building self belief in yourself, in your capabilities, in what you can achieve in the external world, which is what self belief is. It's that external game.
And I think another word that kind of is comes to mind when we're talking about self-belief,
Mm.
self-care, and is selfish. Like,
Oh, always.
I can't do that. That would be so selfish of me to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, no,
Mhm.
it would not be.
Yeah. Yeah. And that comes with self worth.
Yeah,
It's you giving yourself a reason to take a hit to your self-worth when you
yeah.
say stuff like that to yourself. It's you giving yourself a reason because deep down you do not believe you are worthy of taking
Mm,
that moment for yourself. And that's why self-worth, the internal game, is so important. And so self-worth can be built in the background of things like keeping promises you make to yourself, which also ties into self-belief, which is really beautiful. It's about learning to set healthy boundaries for yourself and for others.
mhm.
It's about learning to have courage, especially social courage, to say what you mean and stand up for what you believe.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds lovely and it is, but it is challenging. So you
It's
start
very hard.
small, start
Very
small
hard.
on that one. Don't just go out
Mhm.
there telling everybody your truth right away. You got to baby step into it because what we do is sometimes we go from 0 to 10 and it's too much. And then we convince ourselves it's not for us or we're not good at
Yeah.
something or it's,
Yeah.
so we don't do it anymore. So baby steps, small sustainability is the way in all
Yeah.
of these things. And then after that is investing in yourself. What are you
Yeah.
doing for yourself? Whether it be self-care, maybe, I mean, people think investing in themselves has to be this elaborate, oh, I'm going to go off on a retreat weekend and things, but now I don't have the capacity or the means to do that, so I can't do these things. No, you listening to this podcast right now is you investing in yourself.
Absolutely.
You having a shower on a busy day is investing in yourself. So, where are you not giving yourself credit where you are investing in yourself? So, not self assigning that. And then, how can you expand that a little bit each day? Something that is so small that you can do every day. As much
That's right.
as it's amazing to go on a girls' weekend every now and then, and that fills your cup, awesome. It's not sustainable to do all the time. You need to find these things that you can do for yourself every day. What little
That's right.
rituals can you gift yourself every day? And then the last one is comparison. You talked about social media. Talk about a detriment in comparison.
Yes.
So, comparison can be healthy, but most of us are doing it to a detriment. So, we like to say, are you comparing apples to apples? So, me comparing to a 20-year-old who is on this epic fitness journey, who doesn't have children, who isn't, closing in on her 40s and all of these other things. Am I comparing my life and my fitness schedule to hers and then being like, oh, I suck? It's not apples to apples at
That's
all.
right. That's right.
If I look at an almost 40-year-old woman who is prioritizing her fitness while also homeschooling her children and doing what she loves to do, and I get inspired by that, that's an apples to apples comparison. That's something that I can healthily compare myself to without detriment. So use comparison for your own benefit, but make sure you're comparing apples to apples, people in an equal space of you. It's you as a podcaster, someone who is starting on their podcast journey in their first episode should not compare to your 500th episode. They should go
Yeah.
back and compare to your first and
Mhm.
how that went, right? We always want to be doing apples to apples comparison. And focusing in on that pillar again, those are 5 things. We don't want to be doing all at once. Of those 5 things, which one needs the most focus right now that you can step into? Are you not investing in yourself enough? Are you not keeping promises to yourself? Which one can you focus in on first and then expand from there?
Yeah. I had someone that has shared a story that was, you shouldn't, or you could think of your life as a book, and in your first chapter, you're just discovering and uncovering and identifying and becoming aware of what's happening. And then as the other chapters go on, there's more detail, there's more insight, there's more understanding, there's new things that are uncovered, and there's scary moments and all this. So you should never compare yourself to someone who's in chapter 20 if you're just in chapter 1.
That's right. And when you get to look at it as a story, all the best stories have great character development and trials and tribulations and traumas and villains. And like
Yeah.
all of that makes up a great story. A
Yeah.
story where a character goes from a victim to a hero where they're trying to help everybody at the detriment to themselves, to the guide. The guide is there to guide people without being dragged down themselves, without like that. What a journey that is. And a
Yeah.
lot of us are in our hero phase. We're trying to help everybody at a detriment to ourselves, and we're trying to save everybody. The guide moving into that next phase, the guide knows that they can't save everybody, but they also can't save people at a detriment to themselves. They themselves have the responsibility to
Right.
be whole in who they are and guide people to help find the same.
So true. And, nobody wants to read a book that's all about things that are always just wonderful all the time.
Sunshine and
Because
rainbows all the time. What a boring book.
yeah, I know. It's too boring. You're not even going to get past page 1. Well, time is flying by. I wanted to just say thanks for being such a great guest, but it's time now for all those that are just listening who want to connect with you to be able to know how to connect with you. If you're just listening, you know that I will be able to have all this information on my show notes in my Vicki Noethling YouTube channel. So if you haven't, please do subscribe. And you can find it also on my findyourleadershipconfidence.com website. So the contact information for Amy is, the website is nextleveluniverse.com/group coaching. Again, nextleveluniverse.com/group-coaching. On Facebook, you can find her with her name, AMY.LENIUS. So her name, Amy Lenius. And then Instagram is again, Amy Lenius, all one word. I'm going to turn it over to Amy to talk to you about what her call to action today is, what you can find on her website, any links, and any special trainings that she might have out there, as well as where she spends the most time for social media. So, Amy, it's all yours.
Thank you again so much. Like I said, my biggest goal in all of this is to not only practice my craft, but to just speak into other people's lives. So thank you so much for giving me the platform to do that. I don't take that lightly. I do appreciate that so much. The website takes you to our group coaching page. That is the department that I spend my most time and effort in. We take 10 people every quarter. So we do 4 a year. And this is for self-improvement, humble, growth oriented, heart driven people. And we do expand heavily on self belief, self worth, and fulfillment, but it is dedicated to holistic self improvement. So we go into relationship health, understanding yourself on a deeper level for your sake of your relationships, financial health, momentum, how to set goals. It's a really powerful program. And you get Kevin Allen and myself in that program.
Awesome.
And it is extremely reasonable. It's less than, I should have checked because we have a discount code, but it's less than $70 per, I don't know. I'd have to look, but it's extremely reasonable for the coaches.
Affordable.
Yeah, three
affordable.
coaches with 12 calls.
Yeah.
And Facebook and Instagram, I'm on both. I'm happy to answer messages anytime if you want to talk fulfillment, if you want to talk self-belief, self-worth. We even have a free fulfillment PDF I can send you and walk you through. I just
Awesome.
love connecting with anybody. And yeah, we have a free Facebook group that's dedicated to small self-improvement and self-awareness every day. I am in there every day posting a little something that can help you get connected deeper to yourself and to a growth-minded community. And that is a free Facebook group called Next Level Nation.
Awesome. All right. So again, that Facebook group is the Next Level Nation. So check out Facebook and join that in, and be sure to comment when you join that you heard all about it on this podcast. Amy, it's been just such a lovely time chatting with you about this really important subject. It's something that, just like exercising those muscles to get stronger, you need to do every day to focus on just continue to build that self-belief and self-worth muscle.
Small, sustainable builds every day is the way.
Absolutely. As always, I remind everyone that life is a journey and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.